March 31st, 2023. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Figure 4 podcast. My name is Doug, and Wrestlemania is tomorrow. Thank God, I can't wait anymore. Donald and I, as promised, are going to go through night 1 and night 2 with all of our predictions. It's going to be a great show, everyone. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get right to it. Okay, so the first, and they've already announced it's going to be the first match of WrestleMania. And I've heard the announcers since we talked about Austin Theory. We knew this match was going to happen. It was going to be Theory and Cena for the U.S. title. They are talking the way we talked about when they had only released like a handful of matches. We were talking about Theory, and I said he's John Cena 2.0. He's going to be a huge star. He's going to be just as big as Cena, and announcers are already saying this.
Yep.
In this match, I am going with Austin Theory for a couple of reasons. I just don't think Cena is coming back to defend a title. I think he's just coming in to put Theory over and kind of give him the little pat on the back. You're on your way, kid. And which he is. I'll be surprised if he doesn't win next year's Royal Rumble. I'll be absolutely shocked. But I think he's going over on Cena, and I think he's going to make Cena look like Cena can still wrestle the same way Kevin Owens made Cena look like he could wrestle when he came out of NXT, when he was NXT champion.
Right. No, I could see that. I mean, at this point, Cena, he's a part-timer at best. You know, he's not going to come back. They're not putting the belt on him. They're not putting the strap on him. They've done, under McMahon's ruling, they've done the part-time champion. And I think that's what you're seeing. And I'm not going to get too much into Roman Reigns, but you know, we'll do that later. But I look at Roman Reigns as being a part-time champion. I think with Theory, I have to agree. I mean, I hate the guy. I hate his in-ring personality. I can't stand him. He's a great athlete, and I've said that to you before. We've talked about that before. I don't see Cena coming out of this match as winning the title. At best, if he does win, it's going to be some kind of a schmoz. It's going to be like a count out or a disqualification, something like that. That's the only way that I see Cena winning this match. Aside from that, I can see Theory coming out with the title. Like you said, this is going to be Cena's way of, you know, he said this, what was it, like 2 weeks ago on Raw? He's like, you're not ready. You know, like you're, you know, this is going to be Cena's way of basically saying, okay, you proved me wrong.
Yeah. And he's getting the pat on the back. He's getting the seal of approval, almost the way Shawn Michaels wanted Bret Hart's pat on the back, you know, and Shawn was like, I never got it. And that's another ball of bullshit there. But I think it's almost Cena's way of I think it's going to be Cena's way of passing the torch.
Yeah.
Because this kid is going to be, he's going to be a huge star. It's funny that you say you don't like him, because you know what? I couldn't stand him either when he was taking those stupid selfies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But then when McMahon got the boot and they got rid of that whole shtick, he's really, I don't know, he's, in the last 3 months, he's really taken that character and turned it around. Like, he's not just all jokes anymore. He's all business. And that's, I like him. I really, but I could see, we actually went to school with guys that kind of had that arrogance and cockiness. So I can fuck it. And I'm not going to say any names just in case someday they ever listen to this podcast. But I know what you mean.
Douchebags.
Because douchebags. Because we went to school with them, and and I'll leave that. I'll leave sleeping dogs lie in there. All right, now. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, looking at the card that you had shared to me today, I mean, they've got this listed as the next match, but as far as I know, it's already been announced that this is going to headline Mania Night 1, Charlotte and Rhea. I don't see any way that Rhea doesn't come out of that match with the women's title.
They've positioned it to the point where she has to come out with that title. And she has to. There's no way she's not.
Yeah. And we, like I said before, we've talked about it. I think she's ready. I think she doesn't. I think she's ready to move on from the Judgment Day. This could be the thing that's going to push her on. Um, Charlotte, I don't know what it is. I feel like she's ready to maybe not step away completely, but I think she just wants. She's not. She doesn't seem like a full-time champion anymore. Um, Whereas I think Rhea, she's making TV appearances every single week, and it's really only been until recently that Charlotte's been doing that. Like you might see her on a SmackDown once a month. You know, Rhea's basically in my eyes, she's the face of the women's division at this point. So I think they would be stupid if they didn't go in that direction. Yeah, I got Rhea coming out on top in this one.
Yeah, she's going to, and like you say, like Charlotte came back. She won the title at the Royal Rumble. I think it was the
Yep.
Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. But she's been around, like you said, she's only been around the last few weeks, and you understand that they have to. Excuse me, they have to do that to promote it. I mean, the champions have got to be around, but it's
Yep.
this is almost like it's almost like a John Cena and Theory situation. Charlotte knows, and I'm sure the company has told her that they're going in Rhea Ripley's direction.
Yep.
And it's almost like Charlotte's just kind of holding on to the title because she is a legitimate champion, don't get me wrong, and it's going to be a freaking awesome match. But I think this is their way of kind of giving the nod to Rhea and saying, okay, you're going to go over at Mania. You're going to take that title. And it's not going to be, I agree with you, she's not going to leave the Judgment Day. We've talked about this. She is going to leave the Judgment Day, but it's not going to be right away. I think it's going to be a slow transition because they want to walk around and say, oh, look, hey, look, we got Rhea. We've got a champion in our little clique type thing. But eventually, yeah, she's going to get away with that. And she's not going to worry about Dom, whatever they call them, or the other guys. She's just going to want to go out and defend that title.
Yep.
That's what I think.
And I could honestly see Rhea being. I don't think she's going to hide behind the belt. I think she's going to basically say, like, listen, you put this strap on me. I want to be a fighting champion. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can totally see that. Now we've talked before about, about the rivalry between Sting and Flair going way back to the NWA and WCW days.
Yeah.
Sting was more like the power in the ring. Like he was athletic and agile, but he was more of a power wrestler. I see that as being Rhea in this case, and Charlotte is going to be more of the ring technician, like Flair, like Ric Flair was.
That's a good way to put it, actually, isn't it? A Flair, and look at Rhea, all the paint all over, makeup, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. That's actually you nailed it right on the head.
It's going to be strength versus ring technician, and and Rhea, she can wrestle. She's not just like, I'm going to break you. She's not
just power. That girl can go.
She can go. Just for that reason alone, I see her beating Charlotte. Charlotte's dropping the title. I won't be surprised if that happens.
How long a match do you think? I figure it's going to be about a 20-minute match.
Given the fact that there's going to be outside interference, Dum Dum is going to be there, and thank you for calling him that because that's going to be his new nickname for me.
Yes.
There's going to be outside interference on some level because let's face facts, that's the Judgment Day. I'm going to say 25 minutes. I think I won't be surprised if they push it to 25, maybe even a little bit longer. Like, I mean, I'm looking at the card for Saturday night, and some of these matches, to me, they just seem like filler matches.
Yeah. So
I can see the big matches getting a little bit more of a push. So I wouldn't be surprised to see in the upwards of 25 minutes.
This one isn't going to be a filler match. The Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for those tag team titles. Dude. I can't wait to see this match. Now, when we talked again, when we were talking about only the handful of matches a few shows ago, I still say in this whole bloodline thing, whether it's Sammy, whether it's Kevin, whether it's the Usos, someone is going to turn on somebody in this. I always said it was going to be Sammy going to turn his back on Kevin, and then he's going to go back with the Usos and say, hey, I told you I'm an Uso, blah, blah, blah. But I'm looking at Kevin Owens over the last few weeks, and I'm thinking Kevin's going to do something to Sammy.
It's funny that you say that because, like you said, leading up to the last few weeks, like Kevin Owens has always been stone dead. Like I'm on my own. I don't need any help. I'm not helping you. You have your own beef with the bloodline. I have my own beef with the bloodline. How you want to settle your side of it, that's up to you. And then all of a sudden now he's given Sami Zayn a t-shirt and, I love you, brother. This is my brother, hugging it out in the ring. You only get one hug a year, but then he gives him another one anyway. I This, and like you said, man, we've talked about it, and I've said it before from the very get-go. This match is going to go in one out of 100 different ways, in my eyes. I won't be surprised if Kevin turns on Sammy in the ring. I don't see him siding with the bloodline, but I can see him saying, basically, I told you before, I don't need you to fight my battles with me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he just ends up walking away from the ring. Now, the flip side of that, Jay coming back and being welcomed back into the bloodline as he has, and maybe he's not fully welcomed back in terms of Roman. Maybe he ends up turning on his brother
again
and turns on the bloodline.
Surprising at all. That wouldn't be surprising one bit.
So you go back to the night that Sammy confronted Jay outside the ring. I think Sammy was fighting. Who was he fighting? It was either Solo or the other Oos. I'm at a loss for names right now. Anyway, Jay comes down to Jimmy. So Jay comes down to the ring, and him and Sammy, they raise their arms together. And when he hugged Sammy, he said something to him. Now, I don't know if he was saying, prepare for what I'm going to do to you right now. I don't know if that was just part of the whole sell. But a lot of people are saying, like, he said something to Sammy, and Jay is basically putting on a farce right now. That's what some people are saying. I don't see it, but I won't be surprised if Jay ends up leaving the Usos, if he ends up turning heel. Jay or KO are turning. They're turning on their partner in this match.
Yeah, something is going to happen. And you know what? It has to happen.
It does.
Gorilla Monsoon used to say something has to give. And something does have to give in this match. But now who knows who it's going to be or what's going to be. But yeah, something. I'm looking so forward to this because, like you said, it can go one of a million different ways.
Absolutely. Just given the history between the factions. I mean, sure, Kevin and Sammy, they've known each other for years, going back to their days coming up in the ranks in Montreal and cutting their teeth way back when. But the last 2 weeks, and now all of a sudden they're buddy. It just seems too perfect.
So pick a winner. So the tag team titles are still staying with the Usos no matter what?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so.
I want to say they're not, but I don't know. First, I thought it was, like I said, Sammy's going to turn. Now I'm thinking Kevin's going to turn. Yeah, something's going to happen and get fucky to keep those tag titles with the bloodline.
Absolutely.
Where are we at? Becky Lynch, Lita, Trish Stratus versus Damage Control. I don't know. I don't even have the words to describe how little I give a fuck what happens in this match. I really, really, really don't. This whole Damage Control faction needs to go. Bayley is she's not good as a heel with other people. She's not bad on her own. Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus, you've got two Hall of Famers, and as much as I don't like Becky Lynch, the bitch can go.
Oh, she can.
And she's good on the mic. She's what a entertainer and a pro wrestler should be.
Yep.
Bayley, like I said, is good on her own as a heel. The other two just go away. I'm just, like I said, I can't express how little I give a fuck about this match, and I'm just going to say right now, Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus are going to win. I give this match absolutely no fucking time.
I'm not really looking forward to this match, and it's not because I don't think that they're all not good athletes. They're all great in-ring
Oh, trust
personalities.
me, that's why they're there, and I'm here talking to you drinking beer. They're like Damage Control. They're great athletes, but that should be the first match of WrestleMania, not the United States Championship match.
See, that should be a runner-up to the main event, the U.S. title.
Yeah,
that should be a runner-up to the main event. This match, I'm going to classify this match as a filler. I don't see, because I mean, Lita and Becky, they beat Damage Control for the tag title. So it would only make sense to have a rematch between those two teams. Why is this a 6-person tag?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
I think it's because they had nothing else for them. And it's like, okay, well, we have to utilize them and keep them in the story somehow. So let's just make it a 6-person match. That's what I think.
Right.
They had nothing else for them.
Now, I'm looking at this and I'm going to make a bold statement. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm talking out my ass here. Trish is turning on Becky and Lita. Don't ask me why I have grounds to think that. I have no idea. But the last couple of weeks that I've seen them come to the ring and they're doing their thing, Trish is turning on them. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Like I said, I don't necessarily have solid proof to go in that direction. Just my thought. It's just a feeling.
Happen. It's not like, I mean, she started off as a heel.
Yeah.
Maybe she wants to like completely end her career as a heel. Who knows? But it wouldn't surprise me. But no, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. I think it'll be the start of planting seeds because they've got the tag straps right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. It wouldn't surprise me, but it could be just the start of it as well.
Right.
But that never even crossed my mind.
That's a good call. Don't ask me where that's coming from. It's just a feeling that I got.
Better not be a spoiler that you read.
No.
Our listeners don't want to hear spoilers.
No. I honestly, I'm like you. Anytime that I've come across anything the last while, that's, that could potentially be linked to being a spoiler, if it's on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, I just scroll past it. I'm like, no, this is the first time that I'm off in like the last 3 years for WrestleMania. I want to watch it.
I'm going to come back to that. Just remind me, because there's something I want to bring up. Seth Rollins. I'm not going to say freaking because that drives me crazy. They can't just say Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. Just say Seth Rollins. It drives me nuts. Versus Logan Paul. This is going to be a friggin' awesome match. This is going to go 20, 25 minutes. I've said this before, for a guy like Logan Paul that's only had a handful of matches. This dude is good and he's committed. He's been training hard, and you can tell. I'll still keep talking about that mid-air collision at the Royal Rumble. That was friggin' awesome. Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins. What disappoints me about Seth Rollins is WWE dropped the ball on this dude. He could have been the next Shawn Michaels, but they dropped the ball on him a couple of years ago, and they made his character a twit. That fucking laugh to me is like nails on a chalkboard. I can't stand it. Mm-hmm. And this music that he's got can go down the toilet. But as a performer, him and Logan Paul have chemistry. There's magic. It was like back in the day, Flair and Sting, Flair and Steamboat, Macho Man and Steamboat, Hogan and Orndorff. These two have that kind of chemistry, and they've had no time together. That's what's cool. Now, I don't know if they've been secretly training together or what, but it just seems like when their eyes meet, there's instant magic there. 25 minute match. And I don't know. I think if they want to draw a little bit more money out of this, I could see Logan Paul going over. It wouldn't surprise me if Logan Paul goes over. And he'll go over clean, too, right in the middle of the ring. Won't be a count out, won't be a disqualification. I think it'd be a pin in the middle of the ring, and it won't surprise me.
And you know what? That's going to drive the fans absolutely insane
Hmm.
because like the fan base, they don't like him.
No.
And just the way that Seth Rollins has been talking him down, he's like, he has no passion for the sport. He has no passion for the business. He has no business of being in the business. Um, I can see Logan Paul beating him 1, 2, 3 clean, back to the mat. I don't see it being like a submission or anything like that. Like Logan Paul, he's not a submission wrestler,
No.
um, unless he's learned some tricks of the trade. I don't know. Um, like you, I mean, I like Seth Rollins. I like his in ring skills. I really think that they're kind of. I don't want to see him as the guy that puts other guys over. If you know what I mean. Like I don't want to see him
You don't
just
want to
being a
see him do the
stepping stone.
job. Yeah, I get it.
Like if it's a worthy guy, like if it's an up and coming guy that's oh my god, this is going to be the next Bret Hart or this is going to be the next Shawn Michaels or something along those lines. I don't see Logan. I mean, he's been in the WWE, and don't get me wrong, like you said, his in ring ability for the few matches that he's had, the fucking guy, it's like he's been in the ring for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
He carries himself really well. But I mean, I'm looking at this match, and as much as I want to see Seth Rollins beat him, I I won't be surprised if Logan Paul ends up winning cleanly, like you said, and that's just gonna drive the fan base fucking nuts.
Exactly, because like I've got a DVD of the Four Horsemen, and Tully Blanchard was always the ultimate bad guy because he was a little
Yep.
fucker that everyone just wanted to kick his ass. But he said himself, he said, if I got a guy down that you love and I'm beating his ass and I beat him and then we leave and we're coming back a month from now, do you know what you're going to do? You're going to go pay money to see him beat me up in return. If they do this right, they can make a few dollars off of this.
Yep.
Excuse me, that beer's gassy. They can make a few dollars off of this, but they got to play their cards right. Now, if Rollins goes over, hey, won't surprise me. But it won't surprise me if Logan Paul goes over either. Either way, it's going to be a wicked match, and I think this is going to be Logan Paul's coming out party. Because every time, like going back to when he fought Roman Reigns, to when he was in the Royal Rumble, like each match he's gotten better. And
Yep.
I think if anyone is going to, and I'll always give Seth Rollins credit for this, Seth Rollins can make anyone look like $1,000,000.
Oh yeah.
And Logan Paul is already pretty talented. So whoever wins, I'm not going to be surprised. It's the way the match ends is what's going to surprise me. But they've got potential here to make a lot of money with Logan Paul, whether it be with Seth Rollins or someone else.
Right. Little caveat to throw in there too. So last week, I think it was on Raw after Rollins' match, and he went on his little tangent about, Logan Paul he's nothing but a joker, but if I lose to him at WrestleMania, I'm gonna be the Joker. He also did a Joker commercial for WrestleMania with
Yes,
him
he
and Becky
did.
Lynch.
Yep.
Won't be surprised if he comes out dressed up as the Joker.
I think that'd be, he
That
did a good job of the Joker too.
that would just, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but growing up, the Joker was always my favorite Batman character. Love the Joker. I've got his tattoo on the back of my leg. If he comes out dressed up as his form of the Joker for this match, that's going to make night one of WrestleMania for me.
See,
That'll just
I never got into anything like that. I've never been a superhero guy ever, but I never gave a shit about Batman or the Joker or anyone until the Dark Knight.
yeah.
And then, okay, the Joker is like my drinking buddy. All right. Rey Mysterio versus Dum Dum.
Okay.
I can't fucking wait for this for two reasons. One, I want to see Rey finally kick his ass. And
Yeah.
number two, Dominic is turning into Eddie Guerrero more and more every single week. And I loved Eddie Guerrero. I want to see Dominic I want to see the referee go down in this match. I want to see a chair in the ring. I want to see the referee start to get up. Dominic take that chair, slam it into the mat, throw it to Rey, and then fall down. Because that's what Eddie used to do.
Ray did that in a match. Was it last year? I think
I think he did, yes.
he
Yeah.
did. So I've got a theory about this match. Not surprised if this is Rey Mysterio's last match.
Well, he's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, so it could very well be.
Dominic wins. And then that's going to be the new thing. He's going to go off on a week, maybe months long tangent about I retired my father, blah blah blah. They're going to run that in that direction. Won't be surprised if that's the case. I think it's going to be a good match. Um, there's going to be an interference of some sort from the Judgment Day, probably by Priest. Um, I don't see Rhea getting involved in this. She's going to be too focused on getting ready for her own match.
Yeah,
It's
I
probably going to
don't
be
see it.
it's probably going to be Priest because he's not on the card at least for Saturday night.
I think he might be because yeah, he's not scheduled. I don't think he's scheduled for night one. Is he even on night two? He's not on night two either. He might be in the Andre Battle Royal.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm going in the direction. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be what you expect at a Rey Mysterio. There's going to be a 619 or two in there. It's going to be high flying. Um, don't see it being a schmaz. I don't see this being like a count out or disqualification or anything like that. I think Dominic ends up winning it straight up. And this is Ray's last match, and then Dom's just going to go on, how he beat his dad and put him into retirement. I think
so.
that's the direction it'll go in.
I think so, and it would be fitting too because, I mean, as a father, I mean he loves his son, he loves his family, and he's always been a family man. And
Yep.
I mean, what better way to retire than at WrestleMania, have your last match against your son the weekend you're being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yep.
That's a and they're in Hollywood. I was just going to say Hollywood couldn't write a better story. But that's what I think. That'll be I agree with you 100%. How long a match?
20 minutes tops, I think.
That's what I give. 20 minutes. I give it around 20. All right. So the last match, Jesus, I can't believe this is actually on pay-per-view.
This is fucking stupid.
Jesus, this is what I wouldn't even put this on a house show.
No. This makes absolutely this doesn't make any sense to me. So it's a number one contenders match, basically is what I'm seeing. So you've got Braun and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Jesus. Number one, the Viking Raiders and Alpha Academy have absolutely no business of being in this match if it is a number one contenders match.
They don't.
The Viking
really Raiders don't. Actually, I would. They're actually not a bad team, and I'm just in love with her. So I can't think of her name right off the bat. But
see, to me, they're a poor man's Road Warriors or poor man's Legion of Doom.
I wouldn't even say that. Speaking of that, this is a cheap plug for that. Vince, write the fucking check, get off your ass, and put Demolition in the Hall of Fame. It's well overdue. Anyway,
absolutely.
I digress.
Street Profits, I mean, it seems like they're wanting to go in the direction of splitting them up. Braun and Ricochet, they don't seem like a traditional tag team. Now, one thing I will say, and Tara and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. We were watching, was it SmackDown, maybe? If they had actually split up Braun and Ricochet with Johnny Wrestling and, oh God, the nutcase that's his partner.
Crazy guy, yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah. Put him with Braun and Johnny Wrestling with Ricochet. Now, Ricochet and Johnny Wrestling, they're smaller. They probably wouldn't amount to much, but man, can you imagine the tag team that they would be? Like the high flying tag team that they'd be?
They'd be amazing. They would be absolutely amazing.
They're both technical wrestlers and high flyers.
This team of Strowman and Ricochet, this is my way of thinking. Creative has absolutely nothing for them. So let's just throw them together as a tag team, and it's like let's throw it at the wall and see if it sticks.
Right.
And it's not sticking, and you can hear it with the crowd. Ricochet is a singles wrestler, unless you put him, like you said, unless you put him with another high flyer. Braun needs to be a single unless you can put him with someone like Kane and The Undertaker. Type thing. Other than that, keep Braun as a single, and he's not a baby face anymore. Turn him heel. It's not
Yep.
working. They dropped the ball with him too. Like it's, I don't know. Was
Yeah, when they announced this match, I was like, this is going to be mid card. This is going to be what you normally call a popcorn match.
yeah. Go
This is
buy
where
your
people are
merch.
going to go get your merch, get your popcorn, refill your beer, go take a piss, take a dump, whatever you got to do. That's what this match to me is going to be. When they announced it, I had no interest in this match whatsoever.
Alpha Academy, I believe it or not, I like them, but I get a kick out of them. They make me laugh, and they're both actually pretty good wrestlers. They're
Yeah,
not bad, but and I don't mind the Viking Raiders. That match itself would have been okay. It's Braun Strowman and Ricochet. It's like, and you can hear it from the crowd. I guarantee you, the crowd is going to be not into this match.
yeah,
There's no way they can be. And the
yeah,
Street Profits, I mean, they are a great team, but again, I'm going to keep saying it. It seems like I sound like a broken record. WWE has dropped the ball with them as well,
yeah.
and they have no choice. Montez Ford is an absolutely incredible wrestler. He's
Oh yeah,
amazing, and he's a high flyer. His partner is good,
yeah,
but he's the Marty Jannetty of the team. You know what I mean? Like Montez is Dawkins is Marty Jannetty, and Montez Ford is Shawn Michaels. They
yeah.
have to
That's a good way of putting it.
they have to split those up, and it won't surprise me if it happens at WrestleMania. There have been rumors of them splitting up for 6 months. It
Oh,
just
no doubt,
hasn't happened yet. But
no
yeah,
doubt.
and you know what? This match is going to go 25 minutes because there's so many teams involved,
Yeah,
and it's going to go 20. I give it around 25 minutes, and it's 24 minutes too long.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I mean, just you had mentioned that they were looking at splitting up the Street Profits a little while ago. At Elimination Chamber, when Ford was in that match, I'm like, yeah, the writing was on the wall. I mean, it's funny that we're talking about tag teams tonight because Tara had thrown on the Broken Skull Sessions and Bubba Dudley was on there,
Yep.
and Stone Cold had asked me like, when you went on your singles run, how did it feel? Because you'd always been a tag team for so long. How did it feel coming out that curtain and you're on your own? And he's like, it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know, this when I saw Ford at Elimination Chamber, he doesn't need a tag partner. It won't be weird for him.
No,
I
it won't
think
be.
he can go on a solo run. I think it'll be like when they split up the Hart Foundation. Neidhart became a thing of the past. Not saying that Ford is going to be the next Bret Hart, but he's got potential that he could potentially go on to be, whether it's an Intercontinental Champion or a U.S. Champion down the road to start off.
Yeah.
I think he will get a singles belt. They're not getting a tag strap.
He's
I
too
think,
no that like I said before, they dropped that ship has sailed. And I
yeah,
think that's why you've seen Montez Ford over the last few months. Well, the two of them really, but more Montez Ford in singles roles and in
yeah,
house shows as well.
yeah,
He's had a lot of singles matches. I think it's just a matter of time, but he's going to wear singles gold.
absolutely.
Now Marty Jannetty, I don't know what's going to happen to him, but we'll, I don't know. We'll see. So night two, this is another match where I'm kind of, I don't know, because I like some of the performers here. Liv Morgan, Rochelle Rodriguez versus Natalia and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. I don't want to say what I said about the other mixed tag match because I'm in love with Liv Morgan. Rochelle Rodriguez is a hell of an athlete, and I think the time is going to come where her and our future women's champion are going to get together. I respect the hell out of Natalia. Shotzi can just go away. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say. Ronda Rousey is kind of like fallen out of the. Yeah,
She's done.
yeah.
She's done.
She was an attraction, but now it's like nobody cares.
Yep.
Shayna Baszler, I actually like. Sonya Deville is okay. Chelsea Green can just go away. I I
She's fucking annoying.
I don't even know what
She
to say about this match. Like,
um Honestly, in terms of like the best athlete in this match, I got to go with Raquel Rodriguez.
Hands down.
I, I can totally see her, and I mean her and Liv. It just doesn't match. It doesn't jive. It doesn't mesh. So
No.
I don't see them. I don't see them being a thing very long after WrestleMania, if not immediately after WrestleMania. Sonya Deville's a good wrestler. Chelsea Green, I said it before, she's fucking annoying.
Yep.
This to me on night two, this is going to be a filler match. It's not going to be a popcorn match. It's just going to be okay. We need to fill time because there's not as many matches on night two that we know of yet. We still have tomorrow night SmackDown to go.
This is true.
There may be more matches added. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe an extra match or two. Who it's going to be, I don't know. I hope it's not going to involve Corbin. He's really been pushing the last while, like, you know, on in between match segments where it's like, you know, give me something, you know, I'm you know, you always see him with dude with the glasses. I can't remember his name right now, but you always see him like pleading his case. I don't want to see Corbin on the Mania match or on the Mania card on either night, but I won't be surprised if we see an extra match or two added before Sunday.
Agreed.
But looking at this tag match, it doesn't do anything for me. It's a filler.
Yeah, it's. I agree with you. It's not. I won't call it a popcorn match. Filler for sure, and it's going to go a little while. It's going to be like the Viking Raider, like that other mixed tag team match, because they have to, you know, they need some time before the main event, and all those other matches. It's. I'm just going to pick a winner. I'm going to say it's going to be Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I totally agree with you. After WrestleMania, I don't think Liv and Rodriguez are going to be a tag team much longer.
What direction do they go in with Liv? Because they've already tried her with the strap. They've already tried her with being the women's champion.
I can see them breaking them up. I wouldn't surprise me if they turn Liv heel, or even Rodriguez heel would be Jesus. That would be sweet if they turn her heel. But I can see them shortly after WrestleMania, them breaking up and then have a little to do amongst themselves. And then I think it's just a way for creative to come up with something else for the two of them, because Rochelle is going to be good. That's another one that's going to be like, the women's division is looking good between Rhea and Rodriguez. Like it's in good hands right now. Yeah. So it's, these are all build-ups. That's what I think. All build-ups.
Yep.
Now, Brock Lesnar and Omos. We touched on this again when we just had a handful of shows for WrestleMania. Nothing technical. Power match. I give it 5 to 10 minutes. I give it 5 to 10 minutes. I don't think it'll go 10 minutes. I think it'll be over quicker than that. Just brute power. I am going to be interested if Brock can German suplex Omos, because like I said in the last show that we covered about WrestleMania, Omos he's not coordinated enough to help Brock do that German suplex. And if he doesn't jump enough, he's going to fucking kill Brock, because he's going to land right on him. He's going to squash him. Marinated mushrooms. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be power. It's going to be brute force. MVP is going to not even have to use his cane, and Omos is going to go over.
I can't see Omos not winning this match. I mean, for Brock, when he goes to do one of those German suplexes on an average size wrestler, he's grabbing them like, you know, just above the waist, if not around the waist.
Yeah.
To lift them up. That same area on Omos, that's maybe his thigh.
Yeah.
So like, and I mean, you're looking at he's an agile guy for a guy that's as big as he is. He's what, 7'6", 420 pounds?
No, he's not 7'6". He's 7'4". I'm going to say 7'4", 7'5". He's not 7'6". I can't remember what they build him in at, but they always add an extra inch or two as well. But he even, Brock Lesnar is 6'6", and he towers over Lesnar.
Well, with the night that they faced off in the ring and Omos, reached out to shake his hand, he made Brock Lesnar look like an average man.
Yes.
He made him look like the average Joe, 5'10", maybe 200 pounds. And I'm like, that's not easy to do,
How many times has that happened to Brock Lesnar?
right? I don't know. I, I can see Brock on his way out. I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be. He's going to do for Omos what Undertaker did for him.
Yeah.
Not maybe not on the same scale, because I mean the Undertaker's legendary, but it kind of like in the same gesture. You know, um,
He's
do I see
passing the
them?
torch.
Yeah,
The next strong big man. The next
exactly.
big
Yeah,
thing.
literally. Yeah, I don't see there being any outside interference. Maybe a 10-minute match. Um, I just don't see any way, shape, or form that Brock is going to be able to, like you said, use any of those German suplexes, which is pretty much his arsenal. I mean, he's got a few other power moves, but like that's a signature Brock Lesnar move,
That's right.
and I just don't see him uh, unless Omos actually does work with him to pull those off just for the show. I don't see him beating Omos.
I can see Brock going away. I think he's done everything he can do in WWE. It's time to, I mean, I think he still has some more to give. Not a
Right,
lot, but I can see him. I don't know when his contract is up,
right.
but I can see this being maybe one of his last matches in WWE, if not his last match. And I can see him going to AEW for 2-year contract, just like show up every now and then and kick someone's ass and leave, like, but
Part timer.
yeah, I
Yep.
think, I think he's done. I think Brock is
Yeah.
done. This is one of his last matches, and you know what? Good on him. Go get one more paycheck, because Tony Khan is going to give him all the money in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Um,
there's a few guys that Brock would actually be good with in AEW.
so hear me out. Brock goes to AEW. Goldberg's contract is up with WWE.
I've heard that as well.
Brock versus Goldberg in AEW. Now that was on WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden when both of them were leaving. Both of their contracts were up years ago. And the fans found out about it. Of course, the wonderful age of the internet. Fans found out about it. They absolutely hated it. That's the one that Austin was the referee.
I remember that.
But can you imagine those two showing up in AEW?
It would be a huge that would be a huge pay-per-view match, and it won't be pretty. It won't be
No.
pretty at all. Gee, they're both, if Goldberg's not 50, he's damn near 50, and Lesnar is pushing 50.
Yeah.
So that would be another one of those matches where it'd be like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
if that, but the pay-per-view buy rates would be out the window.
Oh, the draw would
That
be
would be a
huge.
huge payday for Tony Khan and
Oh,
AEW.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So who are you taking? You taking Omos or Lesnar?
I got to go with Omos. Just because I think Brock is on his way out. I think he's done. He's made his money. He's won his titles. He's not going to compete for the U.S. title. He's not going to compete for the Intercontinental. I don't see it. He's a heavyweight. If they were going to put another strap on him, it would have to be one of the two that Roman has.
Yeah.
Um, he's not going to go for one of the for, and not to diminish the meaning of the belts, but he's not going to go for a lower title than the heavyweight title.
No, I agree.
That's just my
100%.
thought. So I'm going with Omos. I think it'll be a clean win. Like you said, maybe 10 minutes.
Now, Intercontinental title. Now, this is a match I was like, Jesus, who cares in the beginning?
Yeah.
But since WrestleMania, I've earned a lot of respect for Gunther. I always just thought he was a big, ugly looking dude that looks like he smells like cabbage. But I've earned a lot of respect for him since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. I have no idea where this can go. This can go one of a few different ways, obviously, because it's a triple threat, but I'll be on. I won't be surprised because Gunther right now has had that Intercontinental title for a very long time.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he walked out of WrestleMania still Intercontinental Champion. The way they've got it angled right now is that he's going to lose. And if I had a guess, at first I thought the odds on favorite would be McIntyre.
Yep.
But over the last while, it's almost like they want to give Sheamus, because Sheamus is up there too. Sheamus is about 44, 45 years old. It's almost like they want to give him one more push with something.
Yep.
But like I said, at the same time, it won't surprise me if Gunther walks out of there still champion.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I hate the whole Imperium thing. Gunther, he stands apart from the other two, though. Like
Completely.
He doesn't hide behind the other guys in their faction.
No.
If anything, he's the one that's right out at the forefront.
Always. He's always got his chin out there saying, hit it. I dare you.
And he doesn't hide behind the belt. And they always say that the IC title is a working man's title.
And he's been a worker. He's out there every single week. And he has been since he won that title.
And I mean, sure, like some people say, well, he's awkward and he's a little bit slow in the ring and all he's got is a few chops and this and that. He's actually not a bad mat wrestler.
He's Greco-Roman. That dude can wrestle. He hasn't mastered the art of sports entertainment, but neither did Hulk Hogan.
No, this is true. I'm going to go with Gunther coming out as the winner in this one. I don't see them, although they are kind of trying to play Drew versus Sheamus right now. I don't see them splitting them up.
No, I don't either.
I'm seeing Gunther coming out winning. Drew and Sheamus, something's going to happen to one of them. Won't be surprised if there's outside interference from one of the other guys in Imperium, which is going to take out either Drew or Sheamus. One of them's getting pinned, but it's not going to be. We're not going to see a falling out that's not reconcilable between Drew and Sheamus. I think they're going to continue on with being somewhat of a tag team, but I mean, looking at this match, going back a couple of weeks ago, we're like, okay, so it's a fatal 5-way, to determine the number one contender. And we talked about it. And like, Montez Ford is not going to win this match. LA Knight is not winning this match. The guy from the New Day, he's not winning this match.
It's going to back then they were going to find a way to still make it a triple threat match.
Absolutely. We talked about that. It was ultimately going to come down to Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus. It was inevitable. Gunther's coming out of this match as the winner, one way or another. I'm going to say it's going to be about a 25-minute match. Like I said, with outside interference of some sort, Drew or Sheamus is going to get taken out outside the ring. They're not going to be able to stop the count, and Gunther's going to end up winning. I think it's going to be a clean win.
I think it'll be a pin in the middle of the ring. Absolutely. Yep. And geez, I can't clear my chest. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to give it 30. I'm going to give it closer to 30 minutes, if not a little over 30 minutes, because it's like we talked about earlier. There's not a whole lot of matches for night 2. Yep. So I'm going to give it 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more, but I'm with you. It'll be a clean pin in the middle of the ring, and I'm going with Gunther.
Yep.
Bianca Belair and Asuka.
I'm actually looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be a good. I mean, you've got Bianca; she's the muscle, but she's she's very athletic. She can mat wrestle if need be. Asuka is just. I think Asuka is fucking amazing. Her face paint is awesome. Her updated face paint. Both great wrestlers. I don't see them putting the belt on Asuka. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to go at least 20 minutes. I won't be surprised if it goes 20, maybe even 25. But I think Bianca is going to come out the winner. I don't see them pushing Asuka in the direction of being one of the faces of the women's division. I don't think she needs a belt to be a face of the women's division. But in terms of having that it factor, I'm going with Bianca in this. at the end of the day, I think they're going to lean on her being the more powerful of the two, and she's just going to wear Asuka down, and she's going to end up winning the match.
I agree with you with everything you just said, except the winner. I'm going with Asuka. It's like it'll go 20-25 minutes. Completely agree with you. And it's going to be a damn good match. It's not going to be completely scientific because both of them can throw.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with Asuka because it just seems like Bianca's title reign thus far has been kind of lackluster. She hasn't really done much with the women's championship. Now, that's not her fault. That's obviously WWE's fault. But it's just like she's just kind of walking around with the title and not doing very much. Now, she's got the charisma. She's great on the mic. The fans love her and all that stuff. But I look at Asuka, and between WWE and Asuka, she's completely reinvented herself. And I love this new look of Asuka.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Joker a little bit with this face paint. A little bit. But I love this new look. She's completely changed everything, but she's still just as deadly. And I don't know. I just see I can see them going with her, but now I can also see return matches. I can see them dropping back and forth a couple of times throughout this year, to be honest with you, because that hasn't happened in a long time. I can see like this could be a feud that could be good over the next 6 months, like going into SummerSlam.
Right.
Asuka wins, then Bianca wins, then back to Asuka. I can see them switching this back and forth because they're both such good athletes and they can both throw, they can both go. I'll go with Asuka at WrestleMania. But I can also see, it wouldn't surprise me if Monday night there's a rematch and Bianca wins the title back. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Like I can see them flip-flopping this over the next couple of months, going into SummerSlam, and then after SummerSlam, all right, it's time to move on.
Right.
Okay. Now, remind me. I've got something to say when we talk about this match. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes for the title.
Okay, one thing. Before we get into that, you missed one.
Oh.
Edge and Finn, Hell in a Cell.
Oh, that'll tell you how much I care about that match. Oh, God. You know what? We talked about this on our other show for WrestleMania when we had a handful. And I agree with you 100%. Just get this feud over with. End it and move on.
This is going to be the end of it. Edge, his contract's got to be coming up. I'm pretty sure when he signed his deal in 2020, it was only a 3-year deal. I won't be surprised if this is one of Edge's last matches. But in terms of ending this whole thing with Finn in the group, I won't be surprised if Finn ends up winning it. I don't see there being any outside interference because it's Hell in a Cell. Now, we haven't talked about him as being a factor in any of the other matches, like earlier on, like whether it was Rhea's or Dom's or anything like that. I don't see Finn interfering with those guys. I think he's going to be more focused on preparing for this match with Edge. I see Finn beating Edge, and then Edge is just eventually just going to go away because the Judgment Day, they're not showing any signs of going anywhere, like going away anytime soon. Whereas Edge, he's getting there. He's almost ready to go to pasture, and he's even said it himself. He's like, I'm getting up there. I want to retire. He's openly said it that he wants to retire in his last match in Canada.
Well, he's 48 years old.
He's getting up there. I think Edge puts Finn over in this match, and it's finally gonna. My hope is that it's if Finn actually does win this match, my hope is that it's going to be a clean win, that there is no outside interference, that there is no other involvement, so that he can finally say without a doubt, okay, there's no more guessing. I was the better man in this match. We're done, and then just be done with it.
In the Judgment Day, this is why I took the Judgment Day from you, the whole 9.
Yeah, And then that's it. Just be done with the feud, because this is what, a year and a half, almost 2 years
It's
that this has
enough.
been ongoing. It's enough. And the only reason that I brought it up is just because it's on the card, and
No, totally. I completely forgot about it. And I hope I'm wrong because that's one of those matches. It was just kind of out of sight, out of mind, like
right,
popcorn match. And I completely forgot it was Hell in the Cell. It was just like, Jesus Christ, another Edge and Judgment Day. Like,
yeah.
fuck again. Like,
The only upside about this is that they're not involving Beth Phoenix in this match. It's strictly Edge versus Finn.
oh,
Like
she'll be there somehow. She has to
it's
be.
it's one on one. Okay, if this is what we're doing, if this is how it's going to end, put them in the cell, put them in the cage, lock the door, let them finish this up, and just be done with the storyline. This, like we've said, this has just gone on long enough.
Do they do shit off the top of the cage?
Won't be surprised.
Completely.
Won't be surprised at all.
How,
Now,
how long do you give it?
um, so looking at the card for night two as it is now, and like I said, we may see an additional match or two added. I'm going to go at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, just because of the magnitude of the match. It's Hell in a Cell. Like normally this is a pay-per-view for God's like its own pay-per-view, not at
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm going to go at least 30 minutes. Um, I don't really see a whole lot of guys bleeding nowadays in Triple H's WWE. Won't be surprised if there's bloodshed in this one.
It'd be
It's
nice to see again. It'd
yeah,
be very nice to see again.
I,
Even if
I,
it's the
I,
hard way. Like, you don't get a
yeah,
blade, you don't get to get color. Just do it the hard way.
no, yeah, it's. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a big sell. I think both of them understand where they're at with regards to the feud between Edge and the Judgment Day. Like this is basically come to a head now. Now we got to pop the zit. Like
Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this match only for the simple fact that I want to see the end of this storyline.
Completely agree. And I'm with you too. I give it 30 minutes, 35 minutes and around there. Because as old
Yep.
as Edge is, and Finn Balor's not a spring chicken either. I'll
No.
give but either one of them can go 30, 35 minutes, no problem.
Oh
And
yeah.
in Hell in a Cell, you might get to slow it down a little bit, but that's where you're going to get 30, 35 minutes.
Yep.
All right, now the
Meat
main
and
event.
potatoes. Here we go.
We've talked about this before.
A few times.
I don't think Cody is winning this title, but there was a photo released on Instagram with him holding a custom championship belt.
I saw that.
Now, at the same time, I also saw something on Instagram where Triple H, now, and a lot of these things you got to take with a grain of salt because I've seen a lot of bullshit on Instagram than any other site. Triple H supposedly has okayed a new championship belt design.
Not plural.
A championship belt. So that got me thinking, Jesus, is Cody going to go over? Is he going to take a belt? And I also saw rumors again, and it was off of Instagram. So anyone listening, these are not spoilers. These are just bullshit things that people like to talk about. That Triple H, again, this is all rumor and innuendo, as they call it. Triple H is saying by SummerSlam, he wants to have the titles broken up again. Now, again, you take it as you will. I still think WWE wants Roman to take Hogan's record and break it and go beyond. So, but I've said before and I'll say it again. Cody has always talked about bringing back the Winged Eagle. I would love to see it. Now, that belt design, if you haven't seen it, is there's a touch of the Winged Eagle in it. But there's nothing of Cody or WWE on it. It's a Cody belt.
Yeah.
There's no mention of World Wrestling Entertainment on that belt.
Just American Nightmare.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was photoshopped. I don't know if that's a belt that they had made. Is he going to go over and that's the belt that he's going to bring out? I don't know. But I still say there's no way Cody is winning Sunday night. It's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be very good. There's going to be outside interference. I think there might be quite a bit on both sides because Cody's got people in his corner. Roman's got the bloodline. I just don't see him coming out of it. I think they want him, like I said, I think they want him to beat Hogan's record or be the longest reigning whatever the fuck records there were. Because when CM Punk had that belt at the time, CM Punk, when he was champion, he was the longest reigning champion in the last quarter century.
Right.
So I think they want Roman to do something more than that. Like, has he had 1,000 days yet? He's got to be coming up on it. I don't even know anymore.
At one point, he was at like 870 some, and then he was all of a sudden at 900 and some. I'm like, what happened to the last 6 months?
Yeah, alien
like,
abduction. Who knows?
Like,
I honestly lost track.
But it's like the Goldberg streak, man. It's like all of a sudden he's 87-0, and then you blink your eye and he's 125. Like Kevin Nash always said, what the fuck happened? Like, when did those matches happen?
Yeah, he wrestled like 6 times last Sunday, so he got bumped up.
Exactly,
I don't know. I just don't see Cody winning. And if he does win, if that's the belt that he shows up on Monday Night Raw with, I'm going to be pissed, and I'll want Roman to win. Just go beat him Monday night and give Roman back his belt because I want the fucking Winged Eagle back. But no, I just don't see it. I know the bloodline thing and Roman being his champion has been going on for a long, long time, but I don't think it's done yet. I think there's still more they can do.
Yeah.
At the very least, I think there's still more they can do till SummerSlam. And maybe I think Cody will still be involved in there a little bit because there's no one else really right now that could really be in the title picture unless you wanted to take a Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn was already there, and the only reason that went over huge was because it was in his hometown. But you still have Kevin Owens in the background. So I don't know. I'm going to say it's going to go at least 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And there's going to be outside interference, but I'm going to say Roman comes out on top. Paul Heyman is going to be a few hairs less again, and he'll be screaming, and that's going to be it. I'm going to say Roman in 35, 40 minutes. Lots of outside interference coming on the end of the match. Maybe the last 5 to 10 minutes of the match. No, it won't be the whole match.
And I mean, that's their MO. Like that's the MO of the bloodline. You know, the minute that something happens to shift in the baby faces or the opposition's favor, you know, the Usos show up or Solo shows up. Something happens. It's bound to happen, and I won't be surprised if that happens in this match. I've said it before. I hope Cody wins because he's always talked about bringing back the Winged Eagle. If he brings back the Winged Eagle, then okay, I'm cool with that. If he brings back a variation that is more tailored to the American Nightmare, yeah. Like I want, this is what I want to see. I'm going to show you this right now, just because I've potentially got a buyer for this, so I brought it out. If I can get this out,
is that the one from X-Men?
This is what I want to see. This is the one from X-Men.
You have a buyer for it?
Possibly.
Right on.
This is the Winged Eagle that I want to see. Yeah. I don't want to see a variation of this. I want to see this.
Completely agree.
So if he can do that, if he can bring back that style, then go Cody. But like you've said before, like, okay, so where like who's going to challenge Cody for that belt? You might have a couple of rematches against Roman. Maybe he picks up his feud again with Seth Rollins. What other direction do you go in? I think the problem right now that I have with the status of the heavyweight belt is that they don't know what direction to go in with it. So it's just like, we're just going to keep it on Roman.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying all along.
until we can figure out, okay, so we've got this person lined up, this person lined up, this person lined up. It to me, it just seems like not that the talent pool isn't deep enough. It's just that they don't know what direction to go in if Cody is the one to take the strap off of Roman.
There's no one that can carry the ball. That's the problem. Like, you look at wrestling like back in the 80s and in the 90s. Look at the guys. Hogan, Warrior, Macho Man,
Yep.
Undertaker, Bret Hart, Shawn
Sid.
Michaels. Like, they always had, like, even coming into the next generation thing and then the Attitude Era, there were always guys waiting in the wings that were ready to take that ball and ran with it. You don't have that now. The closest guy you have, if Cody can't pull it off, is Kevin Owens, in my opinion. Sami Zayn's not the guy yet. I don't think Sami ever will be the guy. Kevin Owens is the guy. Him and Roman do have chemistry. They do have chemistry. Aside from Kevin Owens, there's no one else. Drew McIntyre's been kind of pushed to the back burner. Sheamus isn't the guy anymore. Back, like I said, you go back 25 years ago, there was always someone in line. There was more that you had 5 guys in line waiting for that title that could take that ball and run with it. You don't have that anymore.
No, you don't.
And so you have to keep it on Roman because you don't want the title to flop.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe Roman retains, and then we get something that happens on Monday Night Raw or the following Friday on SmackDown, where maybe he ends up losing it. Who knows? But looking at this match, Roman versus Cody, as only, and like I said, from the standpoint that if Cody can bring back the original Winged Eagle, I want to see that happen. But realistically, looking at the way that Roman Reigns' matches have gone, not going to be surprised if there's outside interference. Not going to be surprised if it ends up costing Cody the match. I can see it going 30, 35 minutes. Again, looking at the card the way that it is right now, they're going to be looking to eat up some time. As much as I don't like Roman and I don't like the bloodline, I won't be surprised if he ends up retaining, and that's it.
There you have it, folks. That's our WrestleMania predictions. We had a great time bringing this to you. My name is Doug. We'll see you again next week, and enjoy WrestleMania.